The biting wind cut through the Auckland Domain like a knife, whipping Charlotte Bennett's auburn hair across her face as she clutched her coffee cup with trembling fingers. 32 years old and already the CEO of Bennett Digital Solutions, the tech empire her late mother had founded. Charlotte had inherited it barely 2 years ago, thrust into leadership after the car accident that took both her parents on a rainy winter evening. She sat rigid on the wooden bench, her charcoal peacoat buttoned to her throat, a burgundy knit scarf doing little to ward off the chill that seemed to seep from somewhere deeper than the weather. Her tablet balanced on her knee, graphs and quarterly reports glowing against the gray afternoon, when a tiny voice shattered her concentration. "Hello, miss." Charlotte's head snapped up to find a small child standing before her, perhaps 5 or 6 years old. The girl had copper-red hair that fell in wild curls around her freckled face, and she wore a purple puffer jacket with one zipper pull missing. Tucked under her arm was a stuffed kiwi bird, its fabric faded from countless adventures. "Hello there," Charlotte said, her corporate voice softening instinctively. Something about the child's earnest gaze made her heart squeeze. "You seem upset. Are you all right?" the little girl asked. Charlotte blinked, startled. "What gives you that impression, sweetheart?" "Your eyes," the child said matter-of-factly. "They look like Papa's eyes when he stares at Mum's picture late at night. Like you've lost something precious and don't know how to find it again. Are you all by yourself?" A lump formed in Charlotte's throat. How could this tiny human see through her so effortlessly? "More often than I'd like to admit," she confessed. "What about you? Where are your parents?" "Just my papa. He's right over there." The girl gestured toward a man pacing near the fountain, his mobile pressed to his ear, his free hand rubbing the back of his neck in visible frustration. "He works too much. He says it's because we need the money, but I think he's just scared of being quiet with his thoughts." Charlotte understood that impulse more than she cared to admit. "I'm Isla," the little girl announced. She lifted her stuffed animal. "This is Kiwi. He's my best mate. What do people call you?" "Charlotte Bennett." Isla studied her with unsettling intensity. Then, in a voice so small it nearly broke Charlotte's composure, she whispered, "My mum died. She's not coming back. Papa says she's become a star now, watching over us from the night sky, but I can't hug a star, can I? I need someone to show me girl stuff. Someone who smells nice and knows how to make my hair pretty and doesn't mind when I ask too many questions." Charlotte's vision blurred with unexpected tears. "Oh, darling, I'm terribly sorry. That must hurt more than words can say. Papa does his best. Truly he does. But he doesn't understand about hair ribbons or which books have the best princess stories. And sometimes I just need..." Isla's voice faltered. Then she looked up with desperate hope. "Miss Charlotte, could I borrow you for a day? Just one single day. You could pretend to be my mum, and we could do all the things mums and daughters do together. I swear I'll be on my absolute best behavior." Charlotte felt moisture track down her cheeks. "Isla, I don't know if my birthday was yesterday," Isla interrupted, her bottom lip trembling. "I turned 6. Papa made me pancakes and bought me a new coloring book, but all I wished for was someone to take me shopping for a proper dress. Someone to tell me I'm growing up beautifully. Someone to just see me the way mums see their little girls. Please, miss, just one day. I won't ask for anything else ever again." Charlotte looked at this heartbroken child, at the loneliness radiating from her small frame that mirrored Charlotte's own hollow existence, and felt something fundamental shift inside her chest. She glanced toward the man still arguing, into his phone, shoulders hunched against burdens both visible and invisible. "Let's go speak with your father first, all right? We need his permission before we make any plans. Is that fair?" Isla's entire face illuminated like the Auckland Sky Tower at night. "You mean it? You'll actually ask him? I give you my word." Isla seized Charlotte's hand and practically dragged her across the grass. As they approached, Charlotte could hear fragments of his conversation. "I realized the client expected the prototype last week, but I'm raising a daughter alone here. I can't pull all-nighters anymore. There has to be some understanding. Yes, I comprehend the contract terms. I'm doing everything humanly possible." He looked up as they arrived and hastily ended the call. Up close, Charlotte could see he was probably 37 or 38, with hazel eyes that held an ocean of exhaustion. He wore faded jeans and a navy swansea jacket, and looked like sleep was a distant memory. "Isla, sweetheart, I've told you not to disturb strangers." His voice carried gentle reprimand despite its weariness. "She wasn't a bother, Papa. I asked her something really important." Isla gazed up at Charlotte with encouragement. Charlotte offered her hand professionally. "Charlotte Bennett, your daughter just made quite a touching request, and I felt we should discuss it properly." The man shook her hand cautiously. "I'm Oliver Harrison. What sort of request are we talking about?" She asked if she might spend a day with me, doing activities mothers and daughters typically share. Having someone act as her mum for a day. Charlotte's voice gentled. She mentioned that her mother has passed on. Oliver's expression crumbled slightly. "Isla, love, you can't just approach people you don't know like this. But we're not strangers anymore, Papa. Her name is Charlotte and she's really kind and she looks sad like we are, and maybe if we spent time together, none of us would feel so hollow inside." Isla's words spilled out breathlessly. Oliver looked between his daughter and Charlotte, clearly wrestling between protective instinct and recognition of his child's need. "Miss Bennett, I appreciate whatever kindness you've shown, but we couldn't possibly burden you this way." "There's no burden at all," Isla asked, and if I'm being completely honest, Charlotte paused, surprised by her own vulnerability. "I suspect I need this as desperately as she does." Something in Charlotte's tone must have resonated because Oliver's posture softened. "Perhaps we could sit and have a proper conversation about this." They settled onto the bench together, Isla nestled between them, while Charlotte explained her situation. She described running a tech company, how she'd never found time for marriage or children, how she'd poured her entire soul into building something her parents would be proud of, how she'd woken yesterday morning on her 32nd birthday to a silent apartment and realized her life was completely barren. No partner, no close mates, just endless work and crushing responsibility. "I came to this park to think," Charlotte said quietly, "to decide whether this emptiness is truly what I want from the next 30 years. Then Isla appeared and saw straight through every defense I've constructed. She's remarkably perceptive for her age. She inherited that from her mother," Oliver agreed. Gazing at his daughter with such profound love it made Charlotte's chest physically ache. "Rebecca passed 3 years ago. Ovarian cancer. Since then, it's been just the two of us trying to fumble through. I'm an architect, and my firm keeps demanding longer hours while Isla needs attention I'm failing to provide. She needs a woman's influence, someone to teach her things I'm utterly clueless about. What if, Charlotte ventured carefully, we arranged something ongoing? Not merely one day, but perhaps weekly? I could spend time with Isla, engage in activities together, give you breathing room for work or rest, and it would provide me with." She looked at Isla, who watched her with luminous hope. "It would give me something I didn't realize was missing from my life." Oliver studied her thoughtfully. "Miss Bennett, Charlotte, if you don't mind." "Charlotte, why would you commit to this? You don't know anything about us." "Because your daughter asked if I was all right, and I realized I'm absolutely not. I've spent a decade constructing a successful company and forgot to construct an actual life. And because she looks at me like perhaps I could matter to someone beyond quarterly earnings reports. Do you understand how rare that feeling is?" Oliver remained quiet for a long moment. "May I consider this carefully? Perhaps we could exchange contact details. You could provide character references. We could establish this safely and appropriately." "Absolutely. That's sensible." Charlotte retrieved a business card. "My office number, and I'll add my personal mobile on the reverse. Ring me if you decide this is something you're comfortable pursuing. No pressure whatsoever." That evening, Oliver called. They spoke for nearly 2 hours. He asked meticulous questions about her background, her intentions, her lifestyle. She answered with complete honesty. By conversation's end, they'd agreed to attempt it. One Saturday monthly to begin. See how things developed. The first Saturday, Charlotte collected Isla at 7:30 in the morning. She'd barely managed. 3 hours sleep, anxious and excited in equal portions. She'd organized an entire itinerary. Breakfast at a waterfront cafe, then the Maritime Museum, then lunch, perhaps some shopping afterward. Isla appeared at the door in her purple jacket, clutching kiwi, her face radiant with anticipation. "You actually came?" "Of course I came. I made a promise, didn't I?" They spent the day doing everything Charlotte had planned and numerous things she hadn't. Isla wanted to examine everything, touch everything, ask questions about absolutely everything. She held Charlotte's hand as they wandered, chattering about her dreams and worries and favorite things. At lunch, Isla said, "Charlotte, may I share something with you?" "Always, darling. My mum used to take me for Fluffy before she got ill. I've missed that terribly." Charlotte felt her eyes sting. "Would you like to get a Fluffy after we finish eating?" "Oh yes, please." They sat in the cafe sipping hot chocolate topped with marshmallows and whipped cream, and Isla told Charlotte about her mother, about how she used to hum Maori Waiata and make funny-shaped pikelets and always sensed when Isla needed comfort. "I'm not attempting to take her place," Charlotte said gently. "Your mum sounds like she was absolutely wonderful. She was the best, but Papa says it's okay to love new people as well. That mum would want me to have people who truly care about me." "Do you care about me, Charlotte?" "Very much," Charlotte said, realizing the truth of it. "I truly do." One Saturday monthly became two, then every weekend. Charlotte found herself reorganizing her schedule, delegating more at the office, leaving work earlier. Things she'd never done previously, things that would have seemed impossible 6 months ago. She taught Isla how to plait hair properly. They baked Anzac biscuits together. They visited the zoo and Kelly Tarleton's and the Auckland Art Gallery. Charlotte bought Isla books and clothing and toys, then caught herself worried about overstepping boundaries. But Oliver reassured her it was fine. "You're providing something I simply cannot," Oliver said one evening when collecting Isla. "You're giving her female attention and guidance, and honestly, you're giving me something as well. Space to breathe. Space to be a better father because I'm not drowning constantly. She's giving me far more than I'm giving her," Charlotte admitted. "I was profoundly lonely, Oliver. I didn't grasp how lonely until Isla asked to spend time with me." 8 months into their arrangement, Isla asked Charlotte to attend her school's Mother's Day morning tea. "I know you're not my real mum," Isla said carefully, "but you're the closest I have. Would you come, please?" Charlotte attended the morning tea, sitting with Isla at a tiny table decorated with paper flowers, drinking weak tea from miniature cups. She met Isla's teacher, who assumed Charlotte was Isla's mother, and she didn't correct the assumption. She watched Isla introduce her to classmates with such pride. "This is Charlotte. She's my special person." After the morning tea, as they walked to the car, Isla slipped her small hand into Charlotte's. "Thank you for coming. I was worried I'd be the only one without someone there. But you came. I'll always come when you need me, sweetheart. Always, without question." That night, Oliver invited Charlotte to stay for dinner. It had become routine, her remaining after bringing Isla home. They'd share a meal, discuss their weeks, talk about Isla, about life, about everything and nothing. "May I ask you something?" Oliver said after Isla went to bed. "Anything. When Isla first approached you in the park, why did you truly agree?" "The complete truth." Charlotte was silent for a moment. "Because I'd spent my entire birthday utterly alone. Because I realized I'd built this impressive empire, but had absolutely no one to share it with, because I was sitting on that bench questioning whether this was the sum total of existence. Then this little girl materialized and saw past all my armor and asked if I was all right. And I couldn't lie to her." Charlotte's voice grew soft. "She rescued me, Oliver. As much as I like believing I'm helping her, she rescued me from a life of achievement without purpose." Oliver reached across the table and took her hand. "You've rescued us as well. Both of us. Isla is happier than she's been since Rebecca died. And he paused. "I'm falling in love with you, Charlotte. I didn't intend it. I didn't anticipate it. But watching you with my daughter, seeing how deeply you care for her, getting to know the real you these past months, I'm completely in love with you." Charlotte felt tears stream down her face. "I love you too, both of you. This family you've allowed me to become part of. I love it more than anything I've ever built or accomplished in business. They married 18 months later. Isla was the flower girl, carrying kiwi and a bouquet of native flax and ferns, absolutely beaming. At the reception, she gave a speech that left everyone weeping. I asked Charlotte to be my mum for one day, Isla said solemnly. And she said yes. Then she stayed every single day after that. She's not my first mum, but she's my forever mum, and I'm really, really happy about that. For years later, Charlotte sat on the same park bench where she'd first encountered Isla. She was pushing a pram now, with her and Oliver's 9-month-old daughter sleeping peacefully inside. Isla, now 10, sat beside her reading a chapter book. What's on your mind? Isla asked, glancing up. The day we met. How you asked. If I was all right. Was I? Profoundly not. I didn't realize the extent until you asked. Are you still not all right? Charlotte looked at her stepdaughter, then at the baby in the pram, then thought about Oliver waiting at home with dinner preparations underway. No, sweetheart. I'm perfectly all right now, thanks entirely to you. I'm all right too. Isla leaned against Charlotte's shoulder. You know something? What's that? Love? I think sometimes angels appear as little girls with stuffed kiwis, and sometimes they appear as sad women on park benches, and sometimes they find each other at precisely the right moment. Charlotte kissed the top of Isla's head. I think you're absolutely correct. Later, Charlotte would reflect on how one question from a child had transformed her entire existence. How can I spend a day with you had evolved into forever. How the loneliest moment of her life had been the beginning of the greatest blessing she'd ever received. She'd been sitting on that bench, successful and accomplished and completely hollow, wondering if this was the entirety of what life offered. And a little girl with a stuffed kiwi had appeared and offered her something more valuable than any business success or industry recognition. A place to belong, a family, unconditional love. Charlotte had spent years building an empire, but Isla had taught her that the most important thing you can build is connection, family, home. The career remained. Charlotte still ran her company, still made critical decisions, still achieved remarkable things. But now it was balanced with netball games and bedtime stories and family dinners, with a stepdaughter who'd chosen her and a husband who adored her and a daughter who'd completed their family. All because a little girl had seen through her defenses and asked a simple question. Can I spend a day with you? One day had become forever, and Charlotte Bennett, who'd spent her life building success, had finally learned what it meant to build something that genuinely mattered. A family, a home, a life filled not with achievements, but with love. All because she'd said yes to a lonely little girl in a park. And that little girl had saved her right back. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with someone who needs to hear it today. Comment below about a time when an unexpected connection changed your life. We read every single comment, and your stories inspire us to keep sharing these meaningful messages. Hit that notification bell so you never miss our next heartwarming story. Thank you for being part of our community.